All right, my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to talk a little bit more about the whole thing that happened with Trump yesterday. But first, I want you guys to know that I'm 100% voting for Trump. This madness in America has to freaking end. Um, I had pretty much reserved myself to like not caring about politics anymore, but this has gotten so out of hand, and you know, I I look at it this way. There are clearly people in Washington D.C. that are literally they don't care what we do. They don't care what we say. They do not care about us as citizens. They don't care about us. They don't want to do anything to make the problems in America any better. If you go to places like California or Detroit or New York and you just see the amount of crime and poverty that's happening in our beautiful freaking country, it's insane. I consume a lot of that stuff. I watch this guy, I watch this YouTuber that lives in New York, and he puts these videos up all the time. And this guy's he lives in New York, man. It's like his freaking city and stuff, and he just wants things to be better and stuff. So he posts like all the theft and all the stuff that's going on there, talking about like the homeless and everything else. And then you watch like the stuff from California and then like Detroit and Chicago and all these big inner cities that are run by these Democrat politicians, man. This stuff is sickening, man. And I mean like you gotta I already do take everything online with like a like a pinch of salt or you know what I mean? Because you kind of have to, because when you look at your own life and you look at the surroundings and you look at how things are around you, and you kind of have to, or you start to get this sense of like, oh my gosh, dude, everything is just so evil out there. And I kind of feel like that is what they're trying to do. Now, now I want to talk to you guys. If you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, let's talk about this, because neither one of these parties are fighting for what you believe in or what you actually want. Neither one of them. If you look at the Republicans, okay, these guys try to rule you by fear. Like, oh man, like take for instance, we're going to talk about the abortion issue, okay? Just for a second, and like my stance on it are, you know, that decision is between a woman and her doctor and the father of that baby. That is not my business. The way Roe versus Wade was supposed to be thought of in the first place is it gives a woman and her doctor, it gives a woman privacy with her doctor, and nothing more than that, and nothing more than that. Like, I, that there's where that should be. It's nobody else's business. We should not be fighting that out in public. And here's my thoughts on it. If there's like rape or there's incest or something that or maybe the mother's life, or maybe the mom is just not in a position to try to take care of the child. That's none of our business at all, period. They shouldn't even be fighting about that. Why is that in the news all the freaking time? You gotta ask yourself, why are these specific things, or gun violence? Let's talk about that for a minute. um Gun violence in America, we all have the right to buy, purchase, own, and have a firearm, um to protect ourselves from our evil government. There's reasons for all of these things, and the more they keep us divided over this stuff, the more the easier it is for them to control us through fear and anger. So if you look at the Republican side, they try to control us by fear. The fear of like, oh gosh, Christianity and all of this stuff. You don't need a damn church to believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Lord. I don't go to church every Sunday. I'm literally right here on Sunday making this video for you. I don't go to church on every Sunday. I haven't been to church for actually a while, but if you think about it, you don't necessarily need like some full-blown religion where preachers and pastors and congregations and everything are getting super rich and all of that stuff, and you know I love Jesus Christ, and I believe in the Lord with all my heart, with all my might, with all my being. And when you when you look back across history, there's so many wars and genocides and so much pain and suffering and misery that have come from organized religions. There have. There's no freaking denying that. And you know, when you put like the religion in there and like you start, you get a whole bunch of people together and they form like whatever it is, like these big come together. I mean, it's great. We do need some place to go to learn about the teachings of the Lord, to to put things into perspective. Maybe somebody, maybe in my opinion, since I started reading the scriptures myself and trying to listen to the words or read the words and deliberate on that myself, I find different meanings in all of that studying that I do as an individual. And to me, that's been more fulfilling than I've ever found going to any church or being around other people and stuff like that. Because, I don't know who said this, but you know, it says be careful about meeting the person that you admire, because chances are you're not going to like who you meet. And that's that's been true so many times in my life. It's like you idolize somebody, or you start thinking about another, like another human or something, and then you find out about their character, and then you're like, oh well, I guess maybe they weren't really as great as I thought they were, and that kind of sucks, because that is a possibility. I mean, there could be somebody in the channel that like really really likes me, but if they met me and really saw exactly who I am and not just my online persona or whatever, maybe they wouldn't like me. Maybe they'd be, disappointed with that. So yeah, be careful of like who you idolize in life and stuff. And the only person that I've ever been able to truly idolize, and very rarely ever been able to hold up to, is Jesus Christ. I mean, that man is absolutely perfect. And just just the thought of having perfection like that, with the ability or at least the will or desire to try to achieve that will always give me a true beacon of light to continue to mold myself after somebody that's truly perfect, as opposed to, like The Rock or some other freaking Hollywood celebrity or something, that you think, oh yeah, I want to be like them. And then I hope that makes sense. I do. I hope that makes sense. My little rambles and stuff. But we go back to this, like right versus left. Both of these parties are absolute trash. Both of these parties are absolute trash. They are. You can't tell me that these guys have been in power for this long and our country continues to fall apart with, I mean, the amount of debt that America's in, $34 trillion. Like, why, how is that not treason? Seriously, like, how is that not treason for our country to be in that much debt, and the American people are trying to carry this on their backs, dude? This sucks, man, to know that like we get taxed for literally everything, and we're still in debt. Like, they're spending money faster than we can make it as American citizens, and the super rich people don't pay taxes. They've written the laws to make it so they don't pay tax and only we pay tax. Like, we're the only ones that pay tax. Like, how are the rich people exempt from this? I'll tell you why. Because they've written code or tax code so that these guys can literally pay themselves a $40,000 a year salary, pay next to no taxes on that, but still be able to get loans, get freaking financing and everything else to still continue to live their lavish lifestyles. They don't even have to, they really don't even, I mean, like, they could literally pay themselves a 40,000, or they don't even have to pay themselves. They could pay themselves as low as like $40,000 a year, which is that's not a whole lot of tax. That's, like $5,000 or whatever. You might even get a tax return out of that. But then they say, oh yeah, well, I've got all these stocks and all this and all that, and they can literally go to a bank borrow millions of dollars tax free, spend all of that, and then pay that payment back. Literally pay the payment back on that. Like you see where I'm going? You see where I'm going with this? They don't pay taxes because the politicians that are in office right now screaming at us, telling us that they are evil, that the rich people are evil, literally we're like getting handouts from these dudes to write these laws to protect their wealth so that they didn't have to pay any taxes. So they don't have to fund these wars. So they don't have to fund any of this other stuff that these benevolent, beautiful, freaking wonderful senators and stuff get a bestow upon us every time that one of their donors in like the war funding needs some more money. You just look at it. I think if you go back to like John McCain versus Obama, that's when all this like really extreme, back and forth started going along. If you go back to like who was it before Obama, and what was it like? Was it like Bill Clinton? And I mean even Bill Clinton wasn't even that freaking off the charts. Like I used to actually like Bill Clinton, man. Like what the freak? Oh, dude, I don't know. I think these guys have literally been trying to divide this country. I think there's something a little bit more sinister going on. I do. I really freaking believe that now. I started working when Bill Clinton was in office, what, 94, 95, 96 or whatever. I was making 5.15 an hour. For that, I could literally get 5 gallons of gas for my car, or I could go to Burger King and I could buy 5 Whoppers. Whoppers. Like those burgers are like $8 now, 6, 7, $8 now. I could literally buy five of them for 1 hour's worth of work. 5 gallons of gas. It was like 89 cents a gallon back then. Maybe even more. I could almost get 6 gallons of gas for my 1 hour of work. Now it's yeah. This is crazy, man. This is crazy how fast this has fallen apart. You work, you make money, and then it literally just goes right to fees. Like your banks charge you fees. You want to, I mean, like look at the tip thing everywhere. There's a tip thing everywhere. You want to pay for you want to pay a bill. Like say you want to pay your loan payment somewhere, you literally got to pay a fee to pay that with a card. Like there's some people out there getting rich, nickel and diming us, the American people, the middle class, the poor, um, and everything in between, except for the rich people, the politicians. Everybody else gets a free pass except for us. And then they keep us angry, they keep us broke, angry, and then they lie to us about nutrition. And I know they lie to us about nutrition because I'm feeling freaking incredible now. I don't know. I went on this tangent. Let me tell you guys, dude. I believe that Donald Trump is like our last. I'm not gonna say that. I don't believe Donald Trump is our last is our last defense against our country. Just becoming like a cesspool and becoming corrupt and broken. Um, but I definitely feel like if we don't reelect Donald Trump, then things are just gonna be too bad. And guys, after we elect Donald Trump, this is his last 4 years. Like there has to be a backup plan, and it better not be no more of these freaking 90-year-old freaking dudes, man. We need somebody our age. We need somebody our age that can run things. We need somebody, and I don't think we should be looking toward politicians. I think other business leaders that are good. I think these people need to step up. I think other people outside of Washington need to step up and start directing this ship back to where it needs to be. They have to. They need to. We need to go back to a calmer, better freaking. We need better leaders. We absolutely need better leaders. These guys in Washington now are garbage. Both of them. They all jump on Fox News, and when they should be in there like actually writing laws. I mean, think about it, man. They let bureaucracies dictate our laws while they sat on cable TV and did nothing about it. While they sat on cable TV, not one of them have had the no. These are problems that Congress alone should be fixing, not some bureaucrat, unelected officials. This is something that our freaking government, the whole reason we pay them $174,000 a year is so that they can be in Washington making these laws and building laws that are better for the American people. We we elect these guys so that we can take care of our families, so that we can, you know, do what we need to do as American citizens. You know, that's their job, is to keep this country out of war, safe, and protect us from domestic and domestic terror, or they it is their responsibility to do these kind of things, and they are just passing the buck. They're not even doing that. They expect us to go to war. They expect us to pay the taxes, and they expect us to send our sons to war to sacrifice their lives, while these guys can't even do their jobs. Literally, they can't even do their jobs. Why are they there? Seriously, why are they there? I mean, we've got we got Donald Trump as the next for 4 years. That's not a very long time. You've seen what Joe Biden has been able to do in 4 years, which is absolutely nothing. Nothing has gotten better under this guy. Nothing. Everything. Things have just gotten worse. Like it's like there's nobody driving there. Um, I would really like to see. Donald Trump go back into office this time. I'd like to see him go in there. I'd like to see him, like fire every single freaking, like, get rid of the FBI, get rid of the CIA, get rid of all of them. Just be done with them. Start over, and do something a little bit better, because I just think that there's way too much um, under the table stuff going on in Washington in these days. I really do. I mean, like they've literally weaponized the whole freaking every single one of those things, every single one of those branches to go after Donald Trump, to like get him on stupid stuff like hush money payments. Are you kidding me, man? If Donald Trump is guilty for all of that, dude, like every single sitting senator or House member, all of them are just as guilty as Donald Trump is. So if we're going to get rid of Trump, we should probably get rid of all of them. So, all right, my friends, if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.